You will open this video when you're really, truly ready to hear this. Right now, you might be going through a crisis, big life challenge, maybe divorce, breakup, moving cities, countries, changing career. Maybe actually everything around you is just crashing and falling apart. But whatever you're going through, this video is gonna help you understand why it's happening and what to do next. Hi, my name is Alina. I'm a hypnotherapist and holistic coach. I'm also an expert with 7 years of experience. I lived in 5 countries, traveled more than 50 countries, studied spiritual traditions of different countries. So this video is for those who need clarity, direction, deep understanding of what's going on in their life and how to actually make it work. Even though I'm talking from my experience and from my knowledge, most of the things I'm gonna share with you are coming to me from the universe, from God, from collective consciousness. So the things that I channel in this video, they're not just my personal assumptions. These are things that come into me as downloads, and I feel the urge to share them. So please don't take it as advice, and do feel what resonates with you. Do feel if what I'm saying is true to you. Because if it's really truth, it should be true to you. You should feel it in your body as a feeling of warmth and expansion, and everybody gonna hear what they need to hear in this video. So I hope you will find your answers. First thing I want to share is that if you're going through a challenge right now and it's really tough and you are suffering, and you feel like you're in kind of a loop or a cycle, you probably are in a loop or a cycle, and there is a way to break this cycle. It's not like it's never gonna end. Yeah, it might feel this way if you're in it for a real long time, but it means there is a way out as well. So I want you to really notice what cycle you're in right now. Maybe it's in a relationship, in your career, in general, any cycle that you've been stuck for many years, things that keep repeating, patterns that you keep repeating. It's really hard sometimes to see it yourself. I have another video on 8 most common patterns that you can watch and test yourself and find the answer. So in order to break any pattern in your life, you need to start acting differently. You need to change your beliefs and change the actions in order to break the pattern. So if you're following any kind of pattern, you've been following it for a reason, because you've been acting the same way for the past several years, for example. Maybe you've been struggling with money because you've been acting a particular way. Maybe you've been struggling with relationship because you've been acting a particular way and follow your subconscious pattern. Whatever you are struggling with, you struggle for a reason in order to learn your lesson. If you're not learning the lesson, if you're not changing your thoughts, your behavior, your feelings about the situation is not going to change, because everything you notice in your reality around you is just a reflection of your own thoughts. Your brain is a prediction machine. The core function is to predict the events in your life. Imagine, notice what you're thinking about every day. Is it a positive or negative scenario? What are you trying to predict? And is it actually played out later? So our brain is really happy when it manages to predict and the reality actually matches the prediction. The core function of it is obviously to keep you safe, but at the same time you get stuck. If the scenario you keep playing in your mind is the same life you've been living for years, or even some negative scenario, something worse than you are experiencing right now, with a really, really high chance it's gonna happen to you. Because the brain likes to guess and it likes to win this game. So the only way to change that is to trick your brain into believing that there is an alternative scenario that you are considering and you truly believe in. So the brain will start predicting towards a different scenario and will start guiding you subconsciously towards that scenario. So you will start taking different actions, feel in a different way, produce different thoughts. You can only change the scenario that you're living in by changing the programming of your mind, because the program is creating the scenario. It doesn't work the other way around. Yeah, a lot of us might be thinking that external circumstances and the world itself creating the feelings, our thoughts, our emotions, and makes us do particular actions. Yes, it might, but it's your responsibility to be stronger than that. So if you don't create your own thoughts, yes, the collective consciousness will create these thoughts for you. And if the collective around you is negative, like thinking about the economical crisis, thinking about all the possible negative scenarios that's gonna happen, then you start automatically think the same way. You might really notice and check with yourself. You can see it clearly in your family patterns. How does your family think? If your family is abundant and thinks abundantly, you must probably think the same way about the world, about the opportunities, about what you can achieve. If your family is not abundant and it feels lack all the time, and it tries to save on everything, it tries to get ready for that unfortunate day when they need to spend all their savings on something urgent, then you probably following the same pattern if you have not worked with it. So this is how the brain works. This is how the collective consciousness works. So in order to protect yourself from these collective thoughts, you need to create your own. You need to be the master of your mind so you can live the life you truly want to live. So now, what do you need to do in order to break the cycle? First, understand what cycle you're actually in. What pattern are you actually following? Are you in survival mode? Are you in burnout hustle mode? Are you in I got inspired, I got an idea, and I started doing something and I stopped halfway because I don't feel inspiration anymore loop? Are you in a toxic relationship loop? So notice what loop is that? What cycle is that? This is the first step, to become aware of the scenario of the programming you're following. The second step is to change your thoughts, change the narrative, change the programming itself. You need to work with your subconscious mind here to uncover what's there, to bring it into the light, and to rewrite these beliefs, because they're not yours. Most of the time they're collective beliefs, the beliefs of your family, your social circle, your ancestors, and not all of them are serving you in a good way. The third step is to start taking different actions that can actually lead you to the life you want to live. But first, you need to work with your thoughts. If you don't work with your thoughts, if you skip the step of working with your subconscious mind and reprogramming your subconscious mind, it's going to be really hard for you to take the aligned action towards that thing that you want. You can do it at the same time though. You can work with your limiting beliefs and start taking different actions to confirm to your brain that yes, now this is my belief, this is what I believe in, I believe this is possible for me, and look, I'm taking action towards it to confirm and to match the thought with the action and to receive the outcome in the reality. This is very simple. 3 steps: become aware of it, change your thoughts, take the action, see the results. But the process of changing it might be a little bit confusing and complicated. If there are thoughts and patterns that you've been following for many years and you're so used to them, you're so attached to them, you find safety in them, you find predictability. That's why it's really sometimes hard to refuse a limiting belief that we've been holding for our own life because it's so familiar. Yes, we know it's negative, we know it keeps us stuck, we know it shouldn't be there, we want to change it, but it's really hard to let go of it because it's been with us for our whole life. What are we gonna do if it's not there anymore? It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel predictable anymore. Life is chaotic. Life is always changing. And whether you change with it or you get stuck, and life will force you to change anyway. So it's better to step into this change voluntarily rather than waiting for the moment and waiting for the crisis, waiting for this depression to hit you so you actually start moving. If you're going through a big life crisis or shift right now, no, this is good for you. It's bringing you to the new reality, to the new version of you, more mature, more capable, more powerful, kinder, more compassionate, like to that version of you that you've been wanting to become. Or that new desire, that new reality that you want to create requires that new version of you. That's why everything else has to be destroyed. Your old life, your old identity, your old social circle, all of this has to be destroyed in order to create the new reality. You can't create the new holding on to the past. You can't create new identity trying to be the old identity at the same time. Something has to be released. You need to let go of the old things for you to arrive. And I know you've probably heard it many times, but now when you're actually living through this exact stage, you probably understand why it's happening. So your primary task right now is not to try to fix what's been already broken. You need to start building the new life, new reality, with this new life force energy, with this new sense of self, with the belief that everything is literally possible right now because old is not in control of you anymore, not in control of your mind. So if you want to dive deeper and understand what pattern you've been following and what you need to release, click the link in the description of the video. Here I share 8 patterns that most people follow subconsciously, and you will probably recognize yourself in one or in a few of them. And if you want to dive deeper one-on-one, I invite you for a personal session with me. The link is also in the description of the video. I will help you to gain clarity and to understand how to break this pattern so you can create the life that you truly want to live. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you gained some insights. Feel free to share them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. This helps me a lot to create more videos and share more with you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.